Hi, this is Denise. Again, welcome to my home. Well, I got Peyton's room done. Wow, it's been a really interesting day. I was just vacuuming in her room when she got home from school. I heard her coming in the door saying, "I'm home." And here we are. I had to take some time just to decompress after uh, doing her room. It's just hard for me. It's not that, yeah, her room was a mess, but it's just hard for me. Peyton is such a sweet girl. I love her so dearly. And I know that she appreciated what I did. And I think it just overwhelms her to deal with stuff. So, the kind of stuff that she doesn't want anymore are her beads. She was given beads for her birthday, and these were all over her floor. And these too. There are a lot of them, and they're just all mixed up. And I thought, well, I may not make anything today, but maybe I could just kind of do some organizing while we talk. Is that okay with you? I did bring some stuff out in case we did. I was thinking maybe I could do this too. Eesh. And then I brought my board and tools and needle and stuff. So, here is this little organizer. And I thought what I would do is just try to get her beads in the best order that I can. There is dirt and all kinds of stuff in here because I just picked them up off the floor. There are some that are just individuals. I don't know. And she's got some charms in here. There's one of them. I'm going to go ahead and aim you down so you can see what I'm doing. How's everybody's day been? Has it been good? Mine has been really productive, although it doesn't look like it, sort of. I see it. Kids are just awesome. Peyton has liked Stranger Things for the longest time. And I would find things that were Stranger Things and get them for her and stuff. And now all of a sudden she doesn't like Stranger Things anymore. So there's something else that she likes. And there's something kind of cool about that because I got my little tweezers here. This stuff is more colorful. She's been in black for so long. I'm really careful about what I get for her. If it's, oh, I just threw the tweezers. Can't believe I did that. I've got to get this bag anyway. I don't, Stranger Things has a lot of yucky stuff in it, like Hellfire Club and stuff like that. And I personally can't, won't. However, there were some things that were okay with me. And I would get her those things, and she was appreciative of that. There are all kinds of different little beads in here. I don't suspect that I will have room for all of it. I have another container in the craft room, but I'm not sure where it is. That's a charm. A charming charm. Here's little stars. A lot of these are for friendship bracelets. And I guess I could have just vacuumed them out, but I couldn't. I have a really hard time letting go of stuff that, for that reason, you know, I can purge without any trouble, and I do all the time. But just because it's on the floor, it needs to be picked up. I'm not going to throw it away. Because these are perfectly good beads. There are a lot of alphabet in here. You know what? Several of you have commented today on the tornado activity yesterday. That's an earring. That's an earring, and that's mine. How did it get on her floor? I don't know. Oh well. And I had all but forgotten I've been in a tornado before. And it was okay. I mean, it capped. I was in a little town in Minnesota, and it kind of capped the town because it was in a valley. I think it was Lanesboro. I'm pretty sure that was where we were when that tornado hit. And it just went over the top of the town. It bounced off of the buttes that were around it. I had forgotten that when my kids were little, that we were in a flood. And that was quite something. I just had Katie, and she was a cesarean section. She was my second cesarean. I ended up having 3 of my kids by cesarean. And gosh, I think I was home from the hospital a day. And the levee broke close to our house. And it took 5 minutes, and the water was up to the door. And as fast as it rose, you know, you just don't know how much water there's going to be. When we started seeing water, I was throwing stuff into the van and was going to take the kids away. But it rose too high, too fast. So we had to hike out of there with a tiny newborn and 3 other kids that were just stair step. And my fear, of course, was if I drop a baby in that water, you couldn't find him because it was so murky. I don't know if y'all have ever been in a flood, but that water is just really difficult to navigate. And it's always really black. Well, especially with the type of breach there was, it was a levee. So it was full of silt and junk. We lost everything in the garage. Couldn't save it. I had tried to, but with that horrible smell from the silt. And I had a little crystal nativity set. I couldn't get it clean, even with a toothbrush. It's like it settled in the pores of the crystal. We lost quite a bit, but we didn't lose our babies. And you know, we weren't even that close to the river, but it happened so fast. So fast. Have you all ever been in a flood or anything like that? The dogs are outside barking. I want to get these somewhat organized so that if I want to use them, I'll be able to. And I'm sure I will be using them. There's nothing wrong with them. And there's some really cute beads in here. And there's 2 dimes. Brenda, if you're watching, I know I told you I would write you. I haven't forgotten. Okay. These are little beads with a lot of dirt. So here's a whole boatload of beads. And Peyton just didn't want this stuff anymore. So I'll retrieve it and hopefully maybe in time she'll want it again. There's some nice beads in here. They're pretty beads. They're not necessarily the run-of-the-mill plastic beads that you find. Oh, there's a little hedgehog. That's not a bead. I'm going to go ahead and pour these in here. It'll be easier for me to get to. Well, 30 cents so far. These are so pretty. They're rhinestone. Oh, here's a little basket. She has a whole bunch of little stuff. I got her. And I think I liked it more than she did. What are these? Just like they're little stones. They don't have holes in them. But there's quite a few of them. Before too long, I'll be able to drill holes in them. There's a wire ring. I can learn about that. Another charm. This is like a charm bead. Kind of a specialty bead. Oh, a Cheerio! Can you see what I'm doing at all? I can't see what you see because you're too far away. I don't have anything big enough to put everything in its own little place. I eventually will. I have another container in the craft room that's big. It has lots of different storage spots in it. Whoops, that doesn't... Yeah, I guess it is. It's underneath some stuff, so I thought, well, me thinks I'm going to wait. I've lifted and tugged and stuff enough today and yesterday. I'm sore. My eyelashes hurt, you guys. I'm just sore. There was so much to do. And I wanted to incorporate a system for her to where I wanted to sort stuff. Trash. Oh, now what is this one? It's an elephant. It's part of the little stuff I got her. And a clippy for her hair. And there is a little unicorn. Oh, and what is this? This is little too. It looks like a hamster. I didn't want to be so complicated with sorting things that she couldn't do it. And I'm not saying she couldn't, really. It's a matter of, she's a teenager. And I want to set up successes for her rather than failures. And so I figured by sorting things, like she has a tub of small stuff, just small stuff. It's not anything in particular. I do obsessive compulsive sorting. I want to have them all in their own little homes. And I know that that's not something that's important to her right now. So if I can set her up with the ability to sort what she's able to sort, then that would be a success for her. I wish you guys could meet her. She's very shy about being on camera, and I get that. But she is a delightful young lady. Just delightful. I'm very blessed to have her in my life. I'm going to have to turn this off for a second and go get the dogs in a minute. If anybody... Oh, this charm says I'm really a unicorn. That's cute. It says I'm really a unicorn. And it's got the spacer bead and everything, and then it has it written. I don't see if you can see it, but that's what it says. I wish they'd just go play outside for a while. They just come inside and bark at the cat. Lacey has more barking stamina than any dog I've ever seen. She definitely stays on task. She can bark for a long, long time. I think she's so afraid that somebody's going to get something that she's not going to get. She reminds me of a jealous little kid. She wants to go outside and play, but maybe I'll have food or something in here that I have without her. And I have to say that I have thought about that. You know, I'll sneak something. She's very determined to be there when I eat. I used to do that when my kids were babies too. I'd wait for them to go to bed, and then I'd sneak stuff. Not that they didn't have stuff, they did. I guess it was always that time when you could just sit back and unwind a little bit. I always loved mornings when I could see their precious little faces when they'd wake up. And I was always ready for them to go to bed at night. We had a really good bedtime routine. And it surprises me that they haven't done that with their own. There were not phones or anything when they were little. Not cell phones. And they would help me set the table for dinner. We ate at the table 3 times a day. It was really important to me that we did that. And I think that on some level it was important to them. I could touch bases with them about their day and what they were doing and teach them manners and could learn to talk to each other. My kids, when they were little, I could take all 5 of the little ones in a restaurant at one time. And they would sit and eat and be quiet. We talked amongst ourselves and laughed, but they didn't get wild. They didn't run around. They didn't holler. And invariably, there'd be people that would come up and compliment them on what good kids they were. And I think that meant a lot to them. I knew they were good. They were each other's best friends. And of the 5, there's 1 boy and 4 girls. And poor Jacob. He didn't stand a chance with the girls. Can you hear my dog? Poor dogs. I'm so mean to them. It's funny how over time memories will fade. They can be reignited. And today, I guess the whole thing with the storms and stuff, and talking to one of you online about the storm really brought back memories of the flood. Oh goodness, I'm going to have to go get them. You won't notice I'm gone though. You probably won't. I shall return. Well, how do I do this? There, Anne. Are you still bearing with me here? I know it's not terribly exciting. I was going to tell you about our evening routine, what we used to do. What did you used to do with your kids? Bedtime routines and stuff. We would do dinner, and the kids would clear their plates, and sometimes, help with something other than clearing their plates. They didn't do a whole lot though with that. I felt if they cleared their plates and cleaned up their messes, that was a good thing. When they got older, they were expected to do more. And then they could play for a little bit, but after that it was bath time. All my girls had long hair, beautiful long hair. So it'd be bath time. And there was a time when the kids could all bathe together. But then, I don't know how old Jacob was. They were all not happy about him having to take a bath by himself, but it got to a point where he was old enough that he needed to take a bath by himself. And after bath, and actually he started to like it because he could be in there longer than the girls. I had to get the girls their hair brushed and all that. And it took a minute, so he could stand and play for a little while. So that kind of made him feel special at that point. I had to find things to reinforce for him to make him feel special because he was kind of the odd man out. I adopted Jacob. He was 5 months old when we got him. And that was, we had him when I was pregnant with Sarah, my daughter that died. And he went from being a foster child to a foster adopt. He was kind of freed up for adoption, and then his mother got, I don't know, I think somebody offered her money for her to say that he was like the father, and he wasn't. We knew who the father was. But they offered his mom money. And she was messed up, bless her heart. She was one messed up little soul. And then she decided to renege on it. We almost lost him. And it was God. You know, you just can't deny the power of God when you see things like this. They were getting ready to take him. The people that were lying about him. And she recanted. So he became ours. And he and Amanda, he was born October 27th. So he turned 1 on October 27th, and she was born November 18th. Sarah had been born the year before on November 20th. I ended up with 3 November babies. Anyway, getting back to routines. He would be taking his bath and I'd be brushing hair. And then when it was time for him to get out, then everybody would gather round, and each child took their turn every day to pick a story. And I had my chair, and they'd all sit around and I'd read them a story. Then it was prayer time. My kids were wonderful prayer warriors. They loved to pray, and they had no problems praying out loud. which was huge for me. You know, I never insisted or anything, but to watch them and their love for the Lord was awesome. And it gives me hope all the time to know that He says that not one will be plucked from His hands. And I have to believe that they're His. But then after stories and prayers, then it was bedtime. And 99% of the time they went to bed without any trouble. Every once in a while there was a, Mommy, I've got to go do this, or Mommy, whatever. But I never had trouble with my kids. They were just such great kids. They were great kids. Anyhow, that was kind of our routine. And then on Saturdays, I had a king-size bed. And 9 times out of 10, I had kids in my bed. And Saturdays were extremely fun. They'd all pile in. And I had bought donuts the day before. And we would have breakfast in bed. We did everything together. Cut it out. Hunter, stop. I wonder about their memories sometimes, if they, you know, if those memories are dear to them like they are to me. I didn't really have memories like that when I was a child. Things are pretty rough. And I enjoyed my kids so very, very much. I never lost sight of the fact that I was their mom. I didn't want to be their friend. It was nice to be friendly with them. I mean, you know, we had a good time. But I was always Mommy. And for the most part, I think I did okay as a mom. And then they became teenagers and everything went to poop. Didn't know how to do teenagers. I wasn't, well, my life at that point in my life was very difficult. My brother had died when I was 13 and he was 15. He had cancer. And our lives were difficult anyway. There was a lot of abuse. And we were lifeboat buddies. So, you know, the dynamic there growing up was very different. So anyway, when my kids were teenagers, it was like I was a mother duck and all my ducks weren't in a row anymore. They had their own ideas and thought for themselves and stuff like that. That was hard. Gosh, I'm filling up this whole thing just with these. And they wound up making choices that were hard for them, you know, that had consequences that were difficult. And that, you know, I beat my head till it was bloody, always. I was very stubborn. Uh, so it doesn't surprise me a lot. I really would have liked to have avoided some of that stuff for them. But you really can't, can you? They have to walk their own road. I'm so proud of them. They're remarkable people, remarkable human beings. I went to college with Katie. I don't think I ever told you that. I went back to college as a non-traditional student because I was in my 50s at that time. And I had so wanted to be a nurse. I had been accepted to school when they were little, and I didn't go. When you have so many children, the cost is like incomprehensible, and there are programs now that help to pay for childcare that weren't around then, and I was in Oregon. I had gotten accepted for nursing school and the whole shooting match. And I think that a big part of it was that I didn't want anyone else raising my children. So I waited. And when I did go to school, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I love learning. I really love learning. Katie was going to be, she was taking stuff for social work, and I was taking nursing. And as anyone that's in the medical field knows, you got to do the grunt work, and I couldn't do it. I physically couldn't do it. My disability got the best of me, so I wasn't able to finish. But I did go to school for a year with Katie, and we had several classes that were the same, because they were required and for both fields. She's in school again now. She would absolutely be mortified if I went back to school, wouldn't she? Huh. I think it's kind of that part of my journey, I think, is over, school. Although I learn all the time. I learn all the time. And we have the opportunity to learn until our last breath. God has so much that He wants to show us. I'm kind of moving these around because I don't have enough room. He is such an amazing God. So I wonder what your stories are. Everybody has stories, you know. It's something the Lord showed me some time ago. Maybe it'll help. with some of the things that you encounter, or some of the people that you encounter in your life. You know, sometimes you're going to have situations that come up, and it's like, oh my goodness, how could that person do that? Well, what God showed me is if they knew better, they'd do better. That most of the time, there's some people that are just mean-spirited people, but most of the time they're not. They just don't know how to act different. And if they knew better, they would do better. So, you know, that might be something to put in your tool belt. That if there's a situation that rises that you have a difficult human being that you're dealing with, if you know in your heart of hearts that if they knew better, that they would do better, it would open the door for you to pray for them and to help, because, you know, I don't know about you, but I think that I'm pretty normal in the sense that if you have 27 comments and everybody is complimenting you, and then you have one that says something different, which is the one that you're going to remember? I think that's just a human nature thing. And it takes a lot of practice to be able to navigate negativity without succumbing to it. I'll tell you, God has shown me so much so far with our channel. It's just absolutely amazing. Do you find that if there's a negative thing said, do you grab it? Are you able to navigate around it? I kind of wish we were interactive to where I could hear responses. But you can message me. That would be awesome. Did you see in the community page where Kayla got her wreath? She said she loves it. And her birthday is April 12th. And that was the first thing that she said when she knew that she had won, is that her birthday was April 12th. And now I'm not trying to put words in her mouth, and she didn't say this, but I'm thinking that she felt like it was an early birthday present for her. She's quite a remarkable young lady. Okay, all there are in here are little tiny ones, and I need to find a way to put those where they need to go. See if I can close this thing. Look at all the pretties. I think I'm going to do it. I think. I hope. I really needed something bigger than this. still think that I can get it though. Just have to move things around a little bit. Oh, I got one. And I'm gonna get it, you guys. These poor little containers weren't made for me. Look, I did it. So, there we go. And these need to go in something else, so I will bring those alongside here in a little bit. I kind of wanted to show you. These are some of the, these beads are red turquoise. I didn't know that you could have red turquoise, did you? They're really pretty. And you can feel that they're stone, they're cold. Let's see if these... These look a little big. I have some ideas on what I want to do. I think I'm going to need to wait. Because I don't know. I guess because I think that I need to wait, but let's see. I wanted to show you these little bead covers of a spacer. Those beads, the white ones that I just had, it's a necklace that I took apart from Habitat. Okay, I'm going to take some of these out. They kind of stack together. Remember I was telling you that they stack together. So there's a bunch of them in here. And the white beads, well, this thread is really fine. I know I should just get a needle, huh? I've got them. Seemed like maybe it would be easier to thread the bead than it would be to thread the needle, though. Probably not. This is fun. This is exciting for me. I've never been able to do this stuff before. Oh, scissors. You didn't last long. Maybe they would last better if I was cutting meat with them. I think I didn't bring a threader out here. Did I do that? What makes you think that you can just thread this needle because you can? We're going to see, huh? This is so fine. It's a little easier to see because it's gold. It doesn't have a blunt edge here. Hunter, cut it out. I think they're done. Well, I don't know that I have lighting that's good enough in there to find what it is that I need. I tried to put things away, and that's what I wound up doing with the needle threaders. If I had some cord like this, well, maybe I can do this. By the way, the scissors that I was using are my old Temu scissors. The new ones are fine. I kind of made a snide remark about the scissors not being good, and they're fine. These other ones I've had for almost a year, and they've definitely been abused. Okay, so I have something that I can thread with. And I will put this back in here so I won't lose any of my beautiful beads. I can always take the beads off of here and re-thread them. I want to be able to do something fun to kind of see what it's going to look like. And the different mediums, you know, I want to be able to put both wood and stone and metals together when I make jewelry. I've got some ideas. I only dropped 2 of these. I don't see where the other one is. I'll find it though. Okay. So, if I was going to do the white beads And I'm going to let's just use some of these silver. Well, no, I had the bronze ones out. Put one of these on this side. Ooh, there we go. And a bead. And I think I'm going to try it just this way. Are these different sizes? No. Instead of encasing the beads, I think I'm going to do just the one underneath and see what that looks like. I'm going to do a few so that you can see what it's going to look like. And I guess I probably would not just leave it at this. I want to put spacer beads in here and make it really different. That's what those little... Can you see it? That's how they work. Now, if you were going to encase them, you know, one on each side, it would look like this. Did I get that on there? Where did it go? Well, Denise, she managed to drop it. I'm going to have fun picking this stuff up. But I will. That's really pretty the way they look when they're encased. You see that where it's got the little contraption on both sides. That is pretty. But I think what I would do is put like a spacer bead in there. Let's see what that would look like. I get some of these little ones that I haven't put away yet. See if it'll fit on there. This is pretty big. Fishing line. You could catch a whale with this. I think it's too big for the hole. So let's see what we can figure out here. I know that there were this one will have a bigger one. I know I've got them in the case of beads that I just cleaned up. Oh, Denise, do you need to open that? Maybe I could do one of these. Let's see what it would look like to put wood on there. I'm experimenting with you guys, you know, right? Is that okay with you? These are just barrel beads. See? Maybe this will satisfy my need for wood. Put these jackets on the other side of this one. Next time I do a beading video, it'll be with a plan. I just knew I was going to chit chat because I had all of those beads to sort. I still have the red ones to sort. I haven't done that. Let's see here. See what we think. Well, that's really grabbed that bead there. Can move that. I think I have an order that's lost. They haven't had any notification on that order for over 5 days. So I think it's probably gone bye-bye somewhere. All right, now oh, there they are. Funny enough, I kind of recreated the order, and there were only a couple of things that were more expensive. But I think that when everything is said and done, I may be able to recreate the order for less than what I originally spent on it. Now this is just to give you an idea. You're putting the beads and the wood together, and then the metal around the beads. I think it's really pretty. I hope you're able to see it well. Is it too close? Too far away? Let's see if I can. This is going to be fun. What all do you have planned for the weekend? I think now, when I think it's not very safe, I have someone coming tomorrow, I do believe, to put my washer that's out in the garage in the house, and bring in, I have a stackable washer and dryer out there. And my poor little washer and dryer, well, the dryer's doing fine, and I'm thinking about keeping the dryer in the house for now. Because the stackable may not dry as well. I don't know. And I might have to replumb if I use that exclusively, because the cord goes one way, the hose goes the other way, and the hose is way over here and the cord's way over here, because you have the washer and dryer separate. And I might have to rewire or replumb, and I don't know that I can afford to do that. So I may just go ahead and keep the dryer in and use that dryer and use the washer, because that's the one that's really failing. It's been failing for a while. Well, my dears, I'm going to let you go. I love you very much, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And until next time.